All right, cool. It worked. This this hotspot thing is killing me. Okay, real quick to recap last week. I'm gonna toot my horn. Every single pick was good. So that recap last week. The only thing I didn't do was the biggest mistake. Didn't talk about Trubisky, so my bad. You weren't gonna play him anyway, even if I did. So I guess the Bucks are that bad. So I'm gonna dive right into it. I'm trying to get decent lighting. Try to do my videos Tuesday, but moving to my apartment in 2 weeks, and then I'm back on normal Wi-Fi. Buddy's letting me stay over. Anyway, I'm gonna go right into it. Don't have as many picks this week. I'm gonna try to shorten these up to where they're a good 20 minutes of just breakdowns of who I like, and I'm not gonna spend too much time on the rest of the guys. But Matt Ryan, that's a given. I'm going to go right into quarterbacks. Obviously, if you don't know, Matt Ryan was a quarterback. Probably advise you don't play this week. Matt Ryan, he's going to be chalk. Every week I talk about the game script theory. It's kind of how I play a lot of my lineups, how I do it. I play cash on FanDuel for the most part. I've been going into GPPs lately, doing well. Quickly, the game script theory, you're finding over-unders at – I'm now going to 49 because – if you guys haven't heard, this is record-setting NFL numbers. So most touchdowns, most air yards, passing yards, points, just everything within 4 weeks. Most completion percentage by quarterbacks and highest QBR overall by quarterbacks. So with that being said, the over-under on games is going very high. I like picking right around 48 because 49 is 7 touchdowns. So I try to target games that are sitting around 40, projected 48. 56, you're looking at 8 touchdowns, and there's actually a game on here for 57 this week. Hence Matt Ryan. So what I try to do is I try to target the highest scoring games because I'm mostly a cash player, and I pick the quarterback usually that's not favored to win, and I stack him with at least one of his guys, and then usually you take the at-home running back. But the running backs, they just aren't going as crazy unless it's the big boys, and you just can't really pay for all that. So this week I got some cheaper running backs. Still going to give you the game script theory. There's a lot of lineups you can make with the game script theory this week, so I try to target a few games. Atlanta, Pittsburgh's, I'm massively targeting that, as the rest of the DFS community should. It's over under a 57. Pittsburgh's favored -3. That's just the normal home field advantage favorite. So this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Matt Ryan for 8,300 on FanDuel. I don't really need to say anything else about him. Pittsburgh is one of the worst against the quarterbacks. They are 31st against the quarterback, 31st against wide receivers, and 31st against tight ends. But they're good against running backs. So Devontae Freeman might be back this week. I want to play him anyway. I want to play any of those because they're good at stopping the run, and Atlanta's going to be forced to throw. And Atlanta's got a really bad defense. It's not as bad as Pittsburgh though. So I really like Matt Ryan in this one. I think he's going to be one of the highest owned, if not the highest owned quarterback. Yeah, it's outside. He's not as good outside compared to his home in the dome. But as you saw with Trubisky last week, it doesn't really matter when you're going up against a defense that's ranked on the bottom, 30, 31st, 32nd. So Matt Ryan, next one, Big Ben, the opposing home field advantage. We all know Big Ben's home field compared to his away splits. AB looks mediocre this year, but I think he's got an amazing matchup this week. So in a high-scoring game, I expect one of those monster games for Antonio Brown. So I like Big Ben even more. So I like both of those guys. I'm going to be doing a lot of stacks with those guys, both with the tight ends mixed in, just get a ton of exposure to this game. Atlanta is 29th against QBs, 26th against wide receivers, 10th against tight ends. So I won't have as much of Vance McDonald, maybe just sprinkled in here and there, but I am going to have a lot of Juju Smith, Antonio, Big Ben, just everything, even Sanu, but I'll get to that. Next quarterback, Blake Bortles, he's going to be real chalky. He's 7,000 on FanDuel, so opens up your lineups a lot. It gives you a little freedom, a little flexibility there. Kansas City is one of the worst. They're 26th against the quarterback, and but they're 16th against the wide receiver. So they just went up against Denver, so that brought them down a little bit. They're playing at home. It's going to be very hard to play at Arrowhead. It's very loud, but I still like Bortles here. I don't like him as much as some other ones. I put an Arrow down, but he's going to be forced to throw, and Kansas City's defense isn't good. Derek Carr for 7,000. The Kansas City game is 48.5 over under. Kansas City's favored to win, so that's another real big reason why I like Bortles there. And they are horrible. They're 31st against running backs. Well, Blake Bortles averages the most running yards for a quarterback since he pretty much came to the league. I believe it's more than Cam Newton, like as crazy as that is. Derek Carr, against the Chargers. Derek Carr, and what is that over under 53.5, and it's in LA, beautiful weather, and Carr should be throwing it about 50 pass attempts. And what do I got for them? Oh, it's right here. Oakland Chargers 23rd against quarterback, 28th against wide receiver, and 15th against tight ends. So we all know Jared Cook's going crazy. So I really like quarterbacks that are in a very high over-under, that the opposing defense is bad against the quarterbacks, high over-under, and they're bad against the wide receivers. And Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Oakland, both opposing. Like I'm talking about Pittsburgh going against Atlanta going against Pittsburgh, Bortles going against Kansas City, and Derek Carr going against Chargers. All that lines up. Next guy I like Cam Newton for GPPs. Pretty low over under 44.5. He's at home. He had a bye week and he gets touchdowns. He's really not going to throw him in. He's going to run him in. So even better. He's got a high floor. He's got a good ceiling. He's going to be lower owned so he's more of a GPP play. I'm not going to pay up for him in cash games, but as for GPPs, you're going to see a lot of ownership going to Matt Ryan and Big Ben. So I like a pivot play off of Cam. The other pivot play I like for GPPs is Carson Wentz. Another week in the books, looking better, got all his weapons back. So I do like Carson Wentz for GPPs. Minnesota's not there on defense, so I feel like this is a good game for Wentz. As for running backs, I like a lot of cheaper running backs this week, which is good. The only expensive one I like is Melvin Gordon. He is expensive. Oakland's got a horrible run D. They're 26 against running back. That's for fantasy points. For PPR, though, so they're still bad. It doesn't matter. James Conner's going to be a little chalky. He's going up against Atlanta, Pittsburgh running back. He's at home with a high implied total, home favorite. I'm not going to have much of him because he's 7,800 on FanDuel, and he's just not putting up much. He's been going down every week. But I am going to have a little bit of exposure because it's an insanely high over/under. Atlanta's 28th versus running backs, so I like that a lot. Also, they allow the most passes to running backs in the backfield, averaging 12 catches a game in the backfield. That's insane. I don't think they're going to do that with James Conner this week, but I do see about 5 to 6 catches out of the backfield. Maybe targets. Hopefully he catches them all. Aaron Jones, 31st run D, Detroit Lions. But they're a reverse funnel, I guess that's called. They're amazing against wide receivers. They're second against wide receivers, and I think they were first, but they dropped a little bit. They're 8th against the quarterback, 2nd against wide receivers, 31st against the run. So a beat up Aaron Rodgers with some beat up weapons. I like Aaron Jones here in a very high over under in Detroit. So I like that 51 over under. I like that a lot. So Aaron Jones there, he's 6,100 on FanDuel. He should return 2x value right there. TJ Yeldon, he's going to be chalky. Going up against one of the worst run defense in the league, Kansas City, 31st. He's going to be used in the pass game. Leonard Fournette's already ruled out. He's good. 6,500. He gets the volume, high over under, bad run D, forced to score. Yeah, I'm good with it. They also want to keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes, out of his hands. I don't know if you've heard about that guy. He's pretty good. My bold prediction is both 4-0 teams lose this week. Yeah, I said it. I think the Rams lose, and I think the Chiefs lose. But Rams are playing in Seattle. David Johnson, So week 1, he went up against Washington, who's now the 3rd-ranked defense. He got over 15 points on FanDuel. Week 2, he went up against the Rams. Didn't do anything. 9th-ranked defense. Week 3, went up against Chicago, 4th. Got 14 points. So he has gone up against and then week 4, he went up against Seattle and got 16.7 on FanDuel. So he is getting right around 15 points a week going against some of the toughest. And Seattle was, they're one of the, I think they're 8th against the run or something, 7th against the run. So yeah, they're up there too. Seattle is 10th against the run. I was way off. So he's gone up against 4 top 10 defenses against the run, and he's 3 out of 4 games gotten 15 points. Now he has a new quarterback that looks good, and he's going up against a 23rd run ranked defense. So he's going to be low owned. He's a great cash play. I think he gets you 20 points. I think he's an easy pick this week. And he's 7,600. It's still David Johnson. Yeah, it's not the same, but it's a good pick. Joe Mixon, if he's fully healthy, going up against 29th ranked run defense with Miami. They just lost one of their best run defenders because he was pissed off at Miami. So he's gone. He's 7,100. You just got to monitor his health. They're at home, high implied total, very high favorites to win, 49.5 over under, 6.5 point home favorites. You always want to get the running back when they're favored by a touchdown. So I like Joe Mixon if he's there. If he's not, you still play Gio. That's fine. Just Joe Mixon said he was good to play last week. I don't know why he won it this week. Upgraded from the Bush Light. Christian McCaffrey against the Giants. I'm probably not going to play this guy. Love him. Awesome dude. I don't know him, but I'm just saying. Probably is. Probably a really nice dude. 22nd run D, and they just use him all over the place. The only thing is he has his worst game in yardage, 95 yards. So he's going to get you the yards. He's going to get you the catches. He's getting all the touches that Ron Rivera said he would. He just doesn't get touchdowns because Cam Newton's a goal line back. So I don't like him there for his price because you're missing out on probably 6 points. So I don't like that. But if he does his normal game and then gets a touchdown, just that's a GPP play because he's a little expensive. And for the other running backs, he's not going to be played as much. Already talked about Melvin Gordon. I'm going to have him in a lot. Going up against Oakland, 26 run D, high favorite to win, high implied total. Oakland's giving up points left and right. Chargers are giving up points. So I like Melvin Gordon a lot. I don't need to go talk on him. Phillip Lindsay against the Jets. Jets are 18th, I believe, ranked run D. He's 6,100. Yeah, he's in a timeshare, so I'm not going to use him as much as some other guys. But for his price and what he's doing, he's a great cash play. I don't think they're going to be able to throw against the Jets well, and it's going to be a low-scoring game. So it's not like he's got 2 touchdown upside, but I do think he gets you around 14 points for cash. I'm good there for his price, 6,100. And then Matt Breida is going against the 32nd ranked Arizona Cardinals defense, and he's 6,200. But Arizona Cardinals are 3rd against wide receivers. They're not going to be able to throw against them. They're going to lean on the run. So I like Matt Breida a lot. I liked a lot of running backs this week. And like I said, not expensive ones. Gives you some flexibility there with Matt Ryan and Big Ben to stack those guys that are expensive with their expensive wide receivers. So for wide receivers, I just wrote down some teams, but I'll talk about their guys that I like. Anyone in Atlanta. Calvin Ridley is going crazy with touchdowns, 6 in 3 weeks. So that's going to regress. That's not normal. I like Mohamed Sanu. He runs more routes. He's getting more targets. He's nowhere near the ownership and nowhere near the price anymore. So in a shootout where he gets more targets and more routes run, I like Mohamed Sanu. Calvin Ridley is eating into his time a lot, but no one's going to play Mohamed Sanu. GPP only. Other than that, Calvin Ridley for cash. You're going to play Julio if you can. Joe Hayden's been a lockdown corner. Julio's averaging 125 yards a game. Just saying, without a touchdown. He's averaging 0 touchdowns. Not even 0.1. Nothing. Just 0 touchdowns. So that's another Christian McCaffrey thing. Like, dude can't get a touchdown. So Oakland against the Chargers. Chargers are 28th against the pass. So that's horrible. They're 28th against wide receivers, 23rd against quarterbacks. So, like I said, I like Carr. I like Amari here. I'm not going to have him in a lot because it's Amari. I'm probably going to do a Jared Cook a little bit more, but I like Amari. He's got the ability. Just 1 out of 5 games he goes off, and he's already gone off once in 5 games. So Amari Cooper's probably not going to do anything. But because they're that bad against the wide receivers, and because it's going to be I think it's going to be a shootout. I like Amari here, and I like Derek Carr. He's been throwing it nonstop. When he threw for over almost 400 yards last week, and he's going back-to-back over 300-yard games, 3 in a row, actually. So the yardage is there. He's just throwing a lot of interceptions. Chargers don't have a lot of interceptions, so hopefully that works out. And then I like the Chargers here. I think you're going to pay up too much for Keenan Allen. Mike Williams just had a bad game, so people are going to be off Mike Williams. Great GPP play. I like Mike there. Keenan Allen's more of your cash play, but I'm actually going to just play Gordon in this one. I don't care for the wide receivers as much, but Oakland is 29th against wide receivers, so I'm going to sprinkle in a little Mike Williams here and there. If you can play Juju and AB, Antonio Brown, you play both of those Steelers. Mix them in as much as you can. Like I said, I'm going to try to get Sanu, Ridley, Julio, Juju, Antonio, like all of them. And then I guess I just won't have any running backs because there goes my whole salary. So I'm probably going to have to play Matt Breida and TJ Yeldon. Those are probably going to be my big 2 running backs this week. Aaron Jones. Man, if I could fit in David Johnson, but I got a lot of cheap tight ends to help offset those wide receivers that I like. Philly versus Minnesota, and Minnesota at Philly. Minnesota's 25th against wide receivers. Philadelphia's 26th. So I think it's going to be a shootout. I don't think. And Philly's really good at stopping the run. That's great because Minnesota can't run. So they're only going to be able to throw. And Adam Thielen gets to go up against Jalen Mills. I think Adam Thielen is a massive pivot play off of Julio, Antonio, and Juju Smith, stuff like that. I really like Adam Thielen this week. Where he's priced right below the studs. He's 8,300. So that's going to keep people off of him, but he goes up against Jalen Mills. Anyone that goes up, I could go up against Jalen Mills, and I might even get a catch. So anyone that goes up against Jalen Mills is a good matchup. So go Adam Thielen as a great pivot play. Alshon, 6,800. We saw how much he was used. No one probably started him in their regular season leagues like me. And you saw how much he was used. He should have had 2 touchdowns. So, and he had a massive game already. But now he's another week away from that injury, and he already looked phenomenal last week. So I like Alshon here. Don't need to say any more about that. And then D.D. Westbrook, got a big old fantasy bone for this guy, leading the team in targets and receptions, and I believe yards. I like D.D. a lot. He had 13 targets last week. Anytime the dude gets double digits, he goes off. Even when he was getting 7 and 9 digits, he was going crazy. So I like D.D. Westbrook a lot there, especially against that Kansas City defense where they're expected to be down. They're going to have to throw. I'm all for D.D., and he's 5,900. So you're getting a wide receiver 1, target usage of a wide receiver 1 on his team in a shootout situation against a horrible defense for 5,900. Like, I'm good with that. So he's going to be in a lot of my lineups. I don't ever lock in a player for 100%, but he's probably going to be in 80% of my lineups, maybe 99%. Who knows? So yeah, Antonio's 9,000, Julio's 88, Thielen's 83, Juju's 8,000. So you're gonna have to play D.D. as well with probably Matt Breida, Philip Lindsay, Aaron Jones, stuff like that to free up your salary. And then who else do I like? Cooper. Anytime there's a high shootout with Green Bay, Detroit, or just high shootout with Detroit, I like Kenny Galladay. He's still not priced too high. He's 6,300. He just makes such a mismatch. He's averaging 14.5 points in FanDuel. That's a great cash play for me. It's also GPP because of his touchdown upside. I like Kenny Galladay as well. I like him every week. And then for tight ends real quick, Nick Vannett, Seattle going up against the Rams. I do think there's going to be a sneaky shootout, and I don't think I'm the only one yet because because Vegas says it's a 50.5 total. So I think it's going to be a shootout. Two great defenses, but one great offense. Seattle's going to play well at home. I think they're going to slow down the Rams a bit. Like I said, I hate to say it, I think Seattle wins this week. If you just started watching, I'm sorry I said that when you started watching, you probably aren't watching anymore. But as for tight ends, Nick Vannett, I wrote down for his price free, like he's minimum price tight end. And when Disley was in there, he was still getting all those targets. And now Disley's gone, and his target, he played almost every single offensive snap. The only weakness that the Rams have is their 20th ranked tight end defense. So I like Nick Vannett here. Once again, you're going to need that salary for those big playmakers, Melvin Gordon, the wide receivers, and some of those quarterbacks. So I really like Nick Vannett here. And anytime that there's an over-under of over 50, you want to have some sort of exposure to that. So I do like that right there, especially with that pass rush they can bring with Donald and Sue. He's not a blocking tight end. Vannett isn't, so he should be getting those quick catches out of the backfield, like little hooks right in the middle, opening up in the middle. So I like that. Austin Hooper against the Steelers. Steelers are 31st against the tight end. Massive shootout. Play Austin Hooper. Philly against Minnesota. Minnesota's 19th against tight ends. We all know how Wentz likes his tight ends. Ertz is 7,500. Ertz Jr. is 4,600. That's Dallas Goedert. I'm going to play Dallas Goedert. I think I pronounced his name two different ways right there, just in case. Dallas Goedert is 4,600. So I like him there. Once again, high implied total, shootout, weak against the tight ends. Wentz loves tight ends. So, and then Jared Cook against the Chargers. He's more expensive, but he's leading the team in everything. So he's 5,900. Chargers are weak against tight ends. I like Jared Cook there. Austin Seferian-Jenkins against Kansas City. Kansas City's 29th against tight ends. He's 4,600 on FanDuel. Why not? If you can fit Vance McDonald in there for 46. I wanted to give more cheap tight ends that I liked for both cash and GPP because of the Matt Ryan, Big Ben, Antonio, Julio stacks. Like I said, you're going to need to play D.D. Westbrook. You're going to need to play these tight ends and some cheap running backs if you want to play those lineups. So anything that I try to stick to the game script theory of playing those quarterbacks in the highest over-under, stacking them, targeting that game, and then playing the opposing running back as well. So I'm going to target Atlanta, Pittsburgh big time, but there's also some really good tight ends that give me exposure to the other games. And then Jimmy Graham going against 17th ranked tight end defense for the Lions. Once again, high implied total. A lot of the guys in Green Bay are beat up. So he still doesn't have a good offensive line back there. Aaron Rodgers doesn't. So we all know Jimmy Graham's not blocking anyone. So he's going to be out there pass catching. So that's everyone. Matt Ryan, Big Ben, Blake Bortles, Derek Carr are my main four. I like Cam in GPPs, and I like Carson Wentz in GPPs. And then I'm going to stack Bortles and Dede a lot. And then that'll give me a lot of exposure to the wide receivers for Atlanta, Pittsburgh, to give you a little strategy on what I'm doing. I like to tell you guys anything that I'm doing. I've been making money every week on this, so high profit return. So I'm not just like I'm pretty much a bum off the street. But so far I've been hitting every week. But go ahead if you like it, subscribe it. I don't care because I do live videos. It's easier for me, so that tells you when I'm on. I try to do them on Tuesdays. Like I said, once I get back on, I'll be able to do them. Go ahead and comment who you like. Let me know any matchups or anything I missed, or hey, you didn't say this guy, why? And then I like to learn just as much as you. So that's all I got. So hopefully you guys do well this week. Hopefully, because if you guys do and you watched and listened, that means I do well. So good luck, everyone. See you next week.